Hey, what's up guys, Gypsy, and we are back here today with NPL Week 9. Going to be taking on Adam and the Bee's Knees this week in a really nice game to wrap up this season. I think this is the second last game of the season, so yeah, it's coming to that end point. And yeah, the race of playoffs is here, so a lot of teams really trying to get their way into playoffs. At this stage we've pretty much clinched. I don't think it's possible for us not to make playoffs, so yeah, these last couple of weeks we'll be pretty sort of laid back. But yeah, hopefully some fun games in there. So yeah, we're taking on Adam, and he's got the Megalopolis squad, as you can see to the right there. So very threatening team. Not very troubled by Aegis at all. His team, we're just something to keep in mind. And yeah, he's got a lot of threats. He's got Z Mesprit and Z Dragonite, which both have merit. He's got the Blacephalon and the Lop, which pretty solid offensive core versus any team really. And then he's got the Serp, which is a pretty amazing grass type, with stacking support from Klefki and Hippowdon, as well as potential T-Spikes from Drapion. So, gonna kick it off. We have the Carmine Clefable here with the Life Orb, and yeah, pretty nice Clef set here. Rocks is pretty essential in this matchup, as it will allow me to chip down Blacephalon really nicely. Everything else, like Dragonite, Dragonite takes out 25, and everything else takes a nice 12, or even the 6% chip is pretty important. And yeah, Carmine Clefable with Moonblast is amazing here. Moonblast pretty much means that at +1, I'm OHKOing things like Drapion. With this amount of special attack investment, I OHKO Lop from full with the given amount of hidden HP I think he can run. It's like 130 EVs or something, 128. Yeah, he just drops to a Moonblast there, so very nice. Carmine Clef just pretty nice in this matchup. Life Orb here to just kind of catch him. If he wants to go into like a bulkier Drapion, it will drop at +1 to Life Orb Moonblast. That's pretty nice. Then we have Z Mudslap Selgos. Yeah, having some fun in this game right here. And Spikes are pretty nice versus Adam. If we do decide to set them up, they can be pretty nice because a lot of his team is grounded, so he's going to be really punished by making switches that a lot of my team will force. Z Mudslap OHKOs Blacephalon after a spike. Does a chunk to Klefki, does over 50%. If he's not Spidef, he takes even more. Very nice, yeah, very nice for things like that. Useful for the Drapion as well, blows that thing away. Focus Blast here for the Lop, creeping an Adamant Lop, because Adam just runs Adamant Lop pretty much exclusively. Yeah, so this is pretty nice here. Bug Buzz is amazing for his team. A very nice way to check a Sub-Seed Superior, which is the set to bring versus me, because I do have the potential to run Unaware Clef. So Sub-Seed Superior with Leaf Storm and Hidden Power Fire can kind of get around Unaware Clef. But yeah, this Aselgor obviously punishes that. Another use of this Clef is that because Unaware Clef is so nice in this matchup, it's kind of needed to an extent for Serp, even though it's not, but it's a pretty nice response to it. This kind of offensive Clefable may capitalize on mons that try and toxic it, which could be really important. So yeah, so pretty nice fun Aselgor here. Then we have a nice Scarf Garchomp, pretty nice insurance versus the rest of his team. Yeah, not bringing Z Outrage for once. And yeah, this Chomp is just nice insurance for stuff like the Lopunny versus a Specs Blacephalon as well, which you can really afford to run versus me. It's nice for Superior as well as a +1 Dragonite. Pretty solid revenge in the late game. The only thing really standing between this thing and clicking Scarfed Outrage is the Clef key, which gets pressured and set up on by my Life Orb Clefable, because Moonblast with the Life Orb and my offensive investment are going to be racking up, especially if I get some Carmines up. So yeah, this Chomp is looking nice here. Then we have nice Weak Armor, Rocky Helmet, Mandibuzz. So this is the check to Lop. It always outspeeds after taking any hit from Lop. I can threaten with Brave Bird if he wants to go into something that can resist Brave Bird, like Klefki. I roost up on that. I take under half from Dazzling Gleam, and I just U-turn out the following turn. He cannot Toxic me or Thunderwave me if he's Prankster, because I'm a Dark type. So yeah, this Mandibuzz is really nice. It also allows me a pivot into Superior, which means I can break its sub with U-turn and go out into something like my Scarf Jump if something happens to a Aselgor, or just click Brave Bird versus it. Essentially, it also is a really nice check to Dragonite as well with a Foul Play. Then we have a Selfest Coon. Wanted to run, a Selfest Nihilego just to get those kills up, but Blacephalon does get Psyshock, so that kind of mitigates Nihilego as being an adequate check to that. But the Selfest Coon functions in this role nicely. Opted to go for this E-Speed Coon because honestly, like, Coon's moves in this game were pretty bleak. Like, he didn't have a ton of options here. Scald, Ice Beam, Mirror Coat. E-Speed's kind of nice to catch a weakened Lop or a weakened Serp by surprise, as well as D-Knight there. So like Ice Beam into extreme speed could be nice if Ice Beam doesn't kill him after rocks, something like that. And yeah, it's pretty nice to be able to check the Blacephalon. I can comfortably choose specs hits to KO that thing, Oko if he's taking rocks chip, and yeah, Mirror Coat is there to bop a Superior if he does want to, you know, risk it going for Leaf Storm on me. But honestly, I think he'll sub-seed versus a Coon because I do have Clef in the back. Then we have Aegislash here. Really solid AG set this week. Kind of bulky, like very bulky in fact, but with enough special attack to destroy a lot of his team. It can kill Blacephalon off the rocks with Sneak. Flash Cannon is pretty much non-resisted on his team by Vaporeon, and Blacephalon just gets Oko the next turn by Shadow Sneak, so it's not really a check. I have Toxic for Vape, and Toxic spreading versus stuff like a Powdon is going to be really nice for my Scarf Chomp in the back. So yeah, that's going to be the team. A very fun team, but yeah, very confident in this squad. It's very solid, and it can certainly catch him off guard if he expects a more like defensive Clef and doesn't really capitalize on, or sort of doesn't clue into the fact that a Selgor could be running a Z-move. So that's going to be the team. I'm going to pause it and we're going to jump into the game. Alright guys, so we are back with the game, and Adam decided to bring actually the exact 6 that I expected him to bring when I was building. I feel like these 6 are the best versus me, and you know, that's always nice when you see your opponent fulfill your expectations like that. But at the same time, these are the 6 best versus me. So yeah, just at matchup, I'm kind of thinking this is going to be Subseed Serp, Spikes, Dazzling Gleam, probably Magnet Rise on the Clef Key, Fizz Def Mesprit, potentially with Rocks to check Medi. Probably Specs, potentially Scarf Blacephalon, but most likely Specs because that is a breaker he can afford here. Adamant Lop, and some kind of fat Drapion because his team does not switch in well to an Aegislash. So those are my thoughts at matchup. We're going to jump right into this game. So I'm going to lead off with Clef, as he is going to lead off with his Clef Key here. So it's Clef on Clef action. He does Toxic me as I get up my rocks. Now, Toxic, that was a fine play if he did feel like I was an unaware Clef. Alternatively, I could have just switched out hard into my Chomp. And Toxic would have, you know, crippled that thing, as well as my Mana Buzz. So yeah, Toxic was a fine play there. He does reveal to be actually Magician Clef Key later on in the game, so we would have been able to Toxic my Mana Buzz there. But because we are Magic Guard, we take that nicely, and we will just be able to set up a Calm Mind here as he does go for a layer of Spikes. So right here, I could have Moonblasted certainly. I certainly could have Moonblasted, but I opted to set up another Calm Mind in the face of this Clef Key, on the off chance that he went out to Blacephalon, because at that point I would be at +1 if he was Specs, essentially, because that would negate his Specs, so I would be at +1. I'd be able to set up all over that thing, whereas if I was only at +1 and he was Specs, it would essentially be neutral, and Fireblast would have been able to 2-KO me there. So I get up to +2 as he does bring in his Drapion, and even if he is an offensive Drapion, this won't be able to kill because I am very defensive. And we do take him out with the Moonblast there. So Drapion drops, and that was actually an Assault Vest Drapion. So that's nice offensive Clef coming through. So that is one of Aegislash's checks out the window. That is another thing that can potentially take Bug Buzzes from a Selgor. So that's really nice for us here. So he's going to go into his Lop, and I am going to go out into my Mana Buzz. So this thing takes Rocks, it then takes the Rocky Helmet chip. And Mandy is in a pretty threatening spot against this Lop. So I am going to get the Weak Armor boost. I'm going to be really fast now, as I am just going to go for the Brave Bird as he brings in this Clef Key. Now, I'm going to Roost up here because I want my Mana Buzz to be at a nice amount of health. If he does have Play Rough, it's not going to do a ton to me, even though I am at -1. And if he is Dazzling Gleam, it'll do under half, unless he's like offensive Clef Key. And yeah, he took that Brave Bird a bit too well for him to be offensive, so he's going to fire for Toxic here, and this turn I am going to U-turn out, as he does reveal to be Magician as opposed to Prankster on his Clef Key. And this turn I am going to bring in my Aegislash here. So he's going to go for the Heal Block here, as I am going to fire off a Flash Cannon this turn, as his Clef Key is going to stay in and set up a Spike. Now here, I could have gone for the King Shield to safely attack this Clef Key the following turn with a Flash Cannon, but in my opinion, going Serp here was a really fine play from Adam, because that would have capitalized on my Aegislash going for King Shield. He could have subbed and then seeded the following turn, so I am going to stay in here and Flash Cannon, and I don't really need Aegislash, even if he did reveal Foul Play, but at that point in the game, honestly, I didn't really think he had Foul Play. He'd shown Heal Block, Toxic, Spikes, and I really felt like he needed some sort of way of chipping down my Mana Buzz and my Garchomp with the Dazzling Gleam, some sort of way of hitting Clef, so that Clef key set is actually walled by my Clefable. So yeah, I felt like he probably had different coverage there, but even if I did lose AG, Selgor and Clef and Coon were pretty much win cons in themselves with Chomp in the back. So now I'm going to bring in my Selgor, and we are going to reveal the Z Mud Slap here and blow this thing away, and that is going to be a dead Clef key. So now Chomp, like, look at Scarf Chomp at this stage, like Scarf Chomp with Outrage, really nice. If I can get damage off on this Mesprit, determine his spread, Scarf Chomp can pretty much just wrap this game up. So he's going to bring in his Lopunny here, as I am going to go out to my Mandibuzz as he makes the double into his Superior. Not really sure what he was trying to do there, as Lop was a pretty solid switch into my my Mandy was a solid switch into his Lop. Perhaps he expected me to sack Clef there, I'm not too sure, but either way, Mandy is going to come in here and just go for the U-turn, as he does go for the sub, and this is really nice because now a Selgor can come back inside, and this is kind of what I was mentioning earlier about the kind of synergy between Mandy and a Selgor in this matchup, as yeah, Bug Buzz does force something to take a big hit, or it forces Surf to go down. So this is really nice. We're getting Lop in range of a couple of hits from the Rocky Helmet. Now he's going to crit me here with Quick Attack, which is going to end up coming into play at the end of the game. You're going to see. It doesn't really matter, but it's just kind of funny. As now I will be able to go for the Foul Play, as he does bring in his Mesprit here. And he's not going to appreciate this Foul Play. It's going to do 40%, so this is huge. I could have gone for Brave Bird there, but I feel like this is probably going to be a defensive Mesprit, and Brave Bird would have done significantly less than Foul Play. And I want damage off on this Mesprit. Foul Play killed the Lob from there. It also killed the Blacephalon on the switch, and he wasn't going Serp on a potential Brave Bird there. So Foul Play was obviously my move of choice there. So he is going to bring the Mesprit. I'm just going to go for the U-turn, get that nice chip, as I am going to go out to my Clef as he fires off the Ice Beam. So this is invested Mesprit, as that Ice Beam did a little bit more than it should have. So now I can go out to my Selgor. I sack off my Clef because Clef has done its job, and a Selgor pretty much wraps the game up at this stage. So as long as I determine that his Blacephalon is Specs and not Scarfed, my Selgor's looking in a really nice spot. So I did 16 with that Bug Buzz, and this is really nice because I can just go hard out into my Coon here, chew even a Specs Shadow Ball if he does have that, which he does end up revealing, and that is going to do a ton. So he took 16.5 from that Bug Buzz, so if he switches out here, his Blacephalon can no longer switch in on a Bug Buzz into another Bug Buzz, as he has revealed to be Specs based on that damage, so he's not Scarfed, meaning he won't be able to outspeed my Selgor. So he will be able to drop to 2 Bug Buzzes if he comes in later in the game. So he's going to stay in here and just sack off his Blacephalon to my Scald, and a Selgor wins the game at this stage. He is going to go into a Serp here and just fire for Leaf Storm to revenge my Coon. Coon did its job, it checked the Clown, and now Selgor is going to come in here and click Bug Buzz, as he does sack off his Superior, and this turn he's going to go back out into his Lopunny. So right here I am going to go hard out to my Mandy, as he does go for the Drain Punch. Now he's going to get the weak armor boost, of course, and he's going to take the chip from the Rocky Helmet. Now if he hadn't crit me earlier with the with the first Quick Attack, I actually would have been out of range of this Quick Attack, meaning that I could have roosted up this turn, or just killed him with a Brave Bird. But instead Mandy is going to go down to the Quick Attack, and his Lop is going to die to the residual damage. But that's all good. I'm just going to bring out my Selgor here and claim the last kill with the Bug Buzz. So this is a pretty fun game. Pretty fast pace. Obviously definitely nice to see a Selgor get like pretty much all the kills this game. I think he got all the kills for the most part. I know Clef got a kill and Suicune got a kill, but apart from that, yeah, Selgor claimed 4 lives, so that's really nice. Definitely a fun game against Adam. He's a friendly guy, and he's had a pretty solid season so far. I don't think he's making playoffs, but you know, he's in a pretty tough division or conference, I guess. And you know, a lot of great players don't make playoffs in the NPL. It's a tough league, so is what it is. But go and check out his side of the game. He's definitely a solid player, and I'm sure you'll enjoy hearing his perspective. That's going to be it from me today. If you guys did like, drop a like on the video, and let me know in your thoughts in the comments on what you thought of the game and what you thought of Z Mud Slap Selgor putting in the work. But that's going to be it from me. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys next time.